What's going on, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. Ooh, it's 10 o'clock on the dot. 10 o'clock on the dot, man. I want to say I'm proud of myself. 10 o'clock straight up. And Friday Night Live, we're here once again, man. Friday Night Live. Got an interesting topic for y'all tonight. Something that's crossed my mind, and I'll tell you the reason why. As we get on and as y'all start to fall into the room, I will tell y'all why I start thinking about this. But we're gonna go into it. Your boy I'm a little sleepy tonight, but I can't go to sleep because I got work to do. I've been on a work grind that's mandatory. Got a lot on the plate. Got a few little surprises and things coming up for y'all as well, man. Everybody that really, really rock with me. Some of y'all say y'all rock with me, but you really don't. So what we're gonna do, what I want y'all to do, everybody who comes in, be sure to hit the like button as you walk into the room. Come in right now, hitting the like button. And what I'll do is try to get everything out the way. Well, not everything. I'll try to get everything out the way that I got going on, and then I'll revisit it as we go further down the line. Y'all forgive me, man. I'm sleepy, man. I ain't gonna lie. I am sleepy. I am teepee. But we're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this. Look, real quick. As soon as I was putting this in, I seen Steve Rio. February 4th, man, your big brother will be in Toronto, Canada, doing a meet and greet, showing love to the people out there. They got love for me. Hope you can come down. I just put the information in the chat box. Come down and show some love. We'll be doing a meet and greet. We'll be doing a live performance. And also, we will also do a Q&A session, a questions and answer session where y'all get to holler at your big brother. Kind of like on here, but in person, where any questions you might want to ask me, you'll get to ask those questions to me. But the only difference is I will be right there, right in your grill, looking at you while you're asking the question, looking at you like, nah, I'm just playing. But yeah, February 4th, Toronto, Canada. The address is right there. Y'all see it in the chat box. The time and everything, 2 p.m. So get there early, get there on time, But in the meantime, hit the like button for everybody that's coming in so we can get right into the topic, man. Also, before we get into the topic, that's what I was saying. I was doing a little whatever it is I was doing. You forgetting how to spell sometimes. When it's been a long time since you just be like in school and all that, you forget how to spell. All right, now look, this is the website, southparkcoalition.net. A lot of y'all have been asking me, hey man, when you gonna put the books back out? Well, we just got new books in. We just got the order in for my books. For those who didn't even know I released a book during the pandemic, I actually put out 2, so we just got the new shipment in, man. So if you would like to purchase one or both of my books, you go to southparkcoalition.net. But go after the broadcast. Go after we go live, because because we have to put them back. Lessons and lyrics from behind these bars. And any fans of true lyricism, you definitely want to get this book, Behind These Bars, because Again, this is a writer's guide. It's gonna get your mind right. It's gonna answer a lot of questions as it relates to being a writer. So got that out the way. Now, the third thing, before we get into the topic, hold on. My spelling problems are kicking in again. Hold on. This third website that I placed down here, martialartsspace.com, martialartsproductions.space. This is for the comic book. Now, as y'all see, this is a box that if you order this whole bundle box, and look how cool this is, man. It got the whole cover of the comic book on the box itself. It comes with this box. It comes with the comic book itself, the coloring book, t-shirt, and you go to martialartsproductions.space. You can order the whole box, or you can just order the separate components. So this is what we got going. All right. Now, the last thing, getting all this stuff out the way, the podcast. I got a lot going on, man. Underground Dialogue Podcast right here on YouTube. I need y'all to go subscribe if you haven't already. If you have, I need you to go watch any videos that you haven't watched. Go watch the rap draft. The new episode will be out tomorrow of the podcast. And we got some cool stuff coming down the pipeline. So we got all that out the way. All that out the way. Now we can get into the topic, y'all. Hit the like button. Hold on, wait a minute. Let's do this OG salute real quick. Because it's way past this dude bedtime. It's way past this dude bedtime. This dude was supposed to be tucked in and sleep 3 hours ago. He was supposed to have already drunk a glass of warm milk and tucked in. Let's get an OG salute to my brother Murder One, man, who's in the chat. Be sure to show love, hearts, peace signs, salutes, 100s, strong arms. Hit that right now, man. Y'all do that right now. Y'all know I shouldn't even have to tell y'all what the OG salute is, man. As soon as I say it, y'all should already know what to do at this point. So holler at the homie Murder One, man, and drop a salute. Pay some kind of love to my brother who been rocking with me since 1952. Y'all keep it coming, man. Drop them OG salutes for Murder. 100. Peace sign. Power fist. Everything, man. Y'all drop that for my brother. From another. Yeah. But let's get into it, y'all. Enough of the commercial breaks. The topic says, what are you willing to risk it all for? What is it? What's the one thing or anything that you look at in your life that you feel is worth going all out for? And the reason why we asked this question tonight is simply because we see too many examples where people go all out over things that are not worth going all out for. And we want to try to kind of get into the mindset of why that happens and why a lot of us are so quick to ruin their whole life behind something that from the outside looking in means very little or nothing. In the big picture of things, it means very little or nothing, but yet when it's happening and we are in that moment, it takes us just through the moon and we ready to like die, kill, blow up everything around. The truth of the matter is sometimes, man, there are deep-seated issues that people have gone through and trauma that still hasn't been properly addressed in a lot of people that they just reach a point where they can be easily triggered by anything that may remotely resemble something that they've already been through, and it just reignites that feeling, it reignites that anger. And it could be an action, or it could be something as simple as just a word, just somebody saying something to you. And when you are the person that's trying to uh, bring that person back to reality, as you're talking, everybody in here has tried to prevent somebody from flipping out. If you've ever had to prevent somebody or tried to prevent somebody that was mad from flipping out, just raise your hand and say yes. I want to see how much we on the same page and here, see how relatable. If you've ever been in a situation where you seen somebody you knew or didn't even know about to lose it, and you try to intervene and help them, just say yes or give some kind of signal. Now, the truth, exactly. So the truth is, when you are in that moment of trying to talk to that person, you're so busy trying to talk to them, like, come on, man, no, man, chill out, bro. Come on, whatever it is that you're saying. But it's a part of your mind, depending on what it is, that you always say to yourself, you're like, man, he really is taking this really serious. And you like, it's not even that serious. And you wondering why this small thing is just angering them on that kind of level. It's not always about the thing that we're seeing in front of us. Like I say, it's something that triggered that we don't know about. I've seen people I know that just like, man, why is he overreacting that strongly about this? So a lot of that figuring that out is about getting to the root cause of what makes a person just flip out. We don't know what happened to them 10 years ago, 20 years ago, when they were a child. We don't know any of these things. And whatever it is, it was so traumatic to them that they have it in their minds that I'm not gonna ever let this happen to me again. This is something that's gonna never happen to me again, because at the time that whatever may have happened, it might have happened to them when they were at a point or an age in their life where they were unable to defend themselves from it. So if you see somebody get molested, or you hear about, oh, this person got molested, or they reveal that later on, then typically that happens to somebody when they're young, when they're little, when they're defenseless against some grown person that has a sickness of their own, and they impose themselves upon it. So now when they get older, now they're like, nah, somebody ever tries to do that to me again, I'm gonna kill them. Or if somebody tries to do that to my child, I'm gonna kill them. Or if it wasn't on that kind of level, it may be something like, okay, well, this person used to really talk bad to me. People talked bad to me and treated me this way and bullied me all my life. And you have in your mind, when I get older, or you just make your mind up one day, because some people get bullied as grown adults, but you may make up your mind one day to say, today is a day that nobody's ever talking to me like this again. And if they do, it's going to be hell to pay. The problem is that if all of this has been built up and pent up inside of a person for so long, that when a person does say something that triggers or ignites that emotion in them, the response may be too over the top in comparison to the action that triggered it in the first place. So, like they would say, the punishment didn't fit the crime. Sometimes the punishment that we issue out was not worthy. It would be the equivalent to a judge sentencing somebody to 50 years for stealing a bag of chips out of the grocery store. It's like the punishment didn't fit the crime. So somebody says something to you and you get angry and you just blow his brains out because of some words, then you went overboard. And sometimes when people flip out, because there's so many reasons why people do say, man, I felt like he disrespected me. She disrespected me. She was talking crazy to me. Man, I work hard. I come home every day and I take care of her and the family, and she don't respect me and she talking crazy to me. So man, I just went off. In the midst of me going off, I took out. That's not something that's worth risking it all for. Oh, what happened? Oh man, we've been having problems in our marriage and she tells me she's gonna divorce me. She I'm gonna divorce you and I got a new man. I'm gonna divorce you. Oh, really? No, you're not. I'm gonna kill you. Oh, I'm gonna take all your money. I'm taking the house. I'm taking the car. I'm taking your children from you. Oh, really? Nope. I'm gonna take you out. That is an over-the-top response behind feeling the threat of losing material items and mixed in with the anger that's already been boiling and accumulating between you and that person, the tension that's been boiling and accumulating. So one of the hardest things that it is for us to do as human beings, one of the toughest things for us to do is in the heat of anger, in the heat of the moment when we just at our most pissed off point, one of the toughest things to do is in that moment to step outside of the situation mentally, assess it, and then make the determination of whether or not this is really worth me flipping out over. Because some people, once they go over, they cross that line, it ain't no coming back. It ain't no coming back. So to develop the ability to step outside yourself in the moment and go, all right, hold on, wait a minute. Let me look around. I got into a regular argument with this guy over a basketball call. And now here I am standing here with my pistol in my hand. Let's rewind the tape. I woke up, put on my basketball clothes, put on my tennis shoes, grabbed my basketball bag and got my ball, and I'm driving to the gym or the park, and I'm going to play basketball. All I got on my mind is I'm going to hoop, put some work in, get a workout in, win me some game, talk a little trash, come home. How did you go from that to a few hours later, you run into your trunk to get a pistol with the intentions to take somebody's life, all because a call or argument escalated to the point where you feel like the only solution is I got to cancel this dude. And I ain't talking about no social media canceling. See? We have to be able to assess the worth and the value or the lack of value of a situation. And is it worth me, you, him, her? Is it worth you doing something that can cause you to lose your life or cause you to take somebody else's life or cause you to put yourself in a potential position to spend the rest of your life incarcerated behind bars? And many times when you come down, it's like a high. It's an adrenaline surge that takes over your mind, or your mind generates the surge. Let me say that in the right order. Your mind generates the surge because your mind is where everything originates from anyway. And then you just react. And in that blind fit, you can't even control yourself. But at some point, most people, not everybody, but most people, they come down. They come down off of that adrenaline high, that anger. But by the time you come down, you sitting in a cell, or you sitting in an interrogation room being questioned about the incident, and they asking you these questions like, so what happened? How did it start? And then reality kicks in. Reality sets in, and you like, oh man, you realize what you did. And the two things that kick in with a person who actually, has some kind of soul in them, they realize what they've done, number one, to somebody else, then they realize what they've done to themselves. Because this is not an easy fix. This is not something that you can just, hey, well, man, well, just how much is it, man? Charge me for it. Nah. You done crossed the line that you can't. You walked inside of a room and the door slammed behind you, and you turn around trying to unlock. The door's locked. You can't get out. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says to think 5 times before you speak. Think 5 times before you speak. What that does, in my view, it gives you an opportunity to assess. Because sometimes people will say, well, man, in the heat of the moment, you ain't got time to be trying to think it out. Well, I get that to a degree, but also if you don't understand the power of the mind, and if you don't understand the rate of speed that thought traveling on average 24 billion miles per second of thought, right? So you have time to assess it and think it through. You just can't get emotional. You gotta put your mind in activation immediately. And you gotta practice this, because the same way your thoughts went to the left to react in a way that'll get you in trouble, that thought came quick. The other thought has to come quick as well, because that thought, the bad thought, consists of, I'm gonna do something to this cat. He disrespected me. I'm gonna show him. Okay, cool. The other side says, wait a minute, man. I got a family. I got a son or a daughter at the house who expects me to come home and needs me to support them. I got a wife. I got a mother and father, friends who care about me, people that want to see me. I have a lot to lose. That's the thought that should dominate whatever else. Now, I'm not talking about self-defense. I'm not talking about somebody putting you in a position where it's, hey, I got to do what I got to do. I'm not talking about that, because that's justified. Make no mistake about it. I ain't on no turn the other cheek talk. I don't believe in turning the other cheek. I don't believe in letting people dog you and disrespect you and physically harm you, and you just, I'm going to pray for you, my brother. The Lord is going to bless you. No, I don't believe in that. But when a situation, when it's not necessary to go there, don't go there. It's not worth it. What are you willing to risk it all for? Now, are there things that are worthy of you laying it all out on the line for? Absolutely. I talked about a situation of like molestation or some stuff that somebody may have went through that, and then now they have it in their mind like, somebody trying to get out, I'll kill them. But on the flip side of that, okay, God forbid, but I got to use this example. God forbid, you catch somebody molesting your child. And I use this as an example from time to time because I think this is probably the most extreme example. You catch somebody molesting your child. They got to get it. They got to get it. That emotion would be justified. Now, I would be disappointed. I would be hurt to see somebody just lose their whole life and freedom behind that. And if they did figure out an alternative way to still deal with that person, to make them feel it, I'm all for that. But if something was happening, say, well, what did he do? What happened? Oh man, he caught this guy trying to violate his daughter and he just wiped him out on the spot. I would be like, oh, man, okay, so be it. I would just hate to see somebody, lose their own. But that's totally justified. I don't even think a person should go to prison if they bump somebody off for doing something like that to a child. I don't even think you should go to jail. I think you should get it. I don't know about y'all city, but in Houston, everybody in Houston, you could do anything. The mayor will give you your own day out here. You can find $20 on the ground. You get your own day in Houston. You can buy a new pair of tennis shoes. They'll give you your own day. I feel like if somebody justifiably wipes out, takes out a pedophile, or some justifiably does something to somebody who was out here just in a predatory mindset, doing things they shouldn't be, you should get your own day, in my opinion. But if there's another way you'd get it done, but you still get it done, hey, I'm all for that too. But those are the cases where you can look at it and say, okay, you know what? If he goes there, to that point, I understand. Somebody in your house and you come home and you got the chance to I can't feel sorry for people who do that type of stuff. I'm sorry. I get it. In some cases, oh well, he shot him too many times, and I get it. I understand. Yeah, it's a balance. But man, bro. So people go after money. Everybody trying to get some bread. Everybody trying to make some money, and then all of a sudden, you decide, hey man, let's go rob somebody. Let's go rob a store. Let's go in the store and rob. You and 3 of your little partners or whatever. It ain't got to be young people because older people be taking some crash dummy chances as well. So you go into a store, the convenience store, you're not finna get $500,000 out of a convenience store. You're not finna get 90,000 from a convenience store. You're not gonna get $1 million. So when you rob in a convenience store, you basically lucky to come away with a couple of $100, right? So you go in there, you rob the store, you get the little change, whatever they had in the register, because you moving fast. You ain't got time to do nothing else. Clean out the register. Whatever's there is there. It might be $80 in there. It's cameras everywhere nowadays. Everywhere you go is a camera, bro. So anything that you are doing, any crime you considering committing, you got to know. I don't care what kind of due diligence that you did. You looking at well, so we already surveyed everything. We know. See, this store ain't got no camera. We know it. We are, but it's a store across the street that got one. It's a camera in this lot over here. It's always a camera. It's gonna be somebody that has an angle seeing you doing what you're doing. And guess what's even deeper than that? What's even deeper than that is whenever that footage is released, 95% of the city who's watching the news, when they see this footage, they not gonna know who you are because they don't know you. You're not famous like that. They don't know you like that. But it's 5% family members, friends, classmates, girlfriend, boyfriend, exes. They know you. They know you. And one of them, all it takes is one of them are gonna, what is it, 222 tips? They're gonna call in. I think I know who that was who robbed that store and shot that clerk. Like on Juice with Tupac. They could just rob the dude. They could have just took the money, but he wanted to shoot somebody. So now you do the same thing. You just want to shoot somebody. So now you sitting in prison because somebody you know told on you. People that don't know you, hey, we don't know you. You know, it's the footage is grainy. I could see you tomorrow. I might not know that was you that was on the news last night, but that person that know, they know your walk. They know how you built. They know how you stand. They know your clothes. And if they offer a reward, you'd be surprised who turned you in. So all that happens, and now you sitting in prison 30 years, 40 years, life. And they're gonna make sure that it's known to the public. Well, the assailants only got $82 for the robbery. So you done threw your whole life away behind $82, and it was 4 of y'all. Y'all gonna split $80. What are you willing to risk? Risk it all for? It's not worth it. Shout out to the Real Hungry Joe. Quick to listen, tame the tongue, and slow to speak. That's right. It's not worth it. People talking to you. What happened? She disrespected me. He don't know how to shut up. So what you do? I stabbed him 58 times. Because they were talking. And when you come down off your high, most people realize I just made the biggest mistake of my life. You get one trip. You get one trip. So too many people are incarcerated for the rest of their life. You got people that's incarcerated that's innocent, that didn't even do it, and got 30, 40, 50 years life in prison. They didn't even do it. And they lost their life. Not the physical life, but they lost their freedom, which essentially, that's your life. You don't have no freedom, you don't have no life. Your life is over. I don't care how many books you try to read. Bruh, it's nothing in the world better than getting up when you want to get up, walking to the refrigerator when you want to get something to eat or drink, taking a ride and going to the park or to the mall when you want to do it. It's nothing better than that. But to have that taken away, not because it was taken away, it's because you took it away from yourself. He was talking about me. They was talking about me. So I showed them. No, you didn't show them nothing. You made a foolish emotional move that cost you your freedom. And in some cases, it cost you your life because you might not be the winner. You might not be the winner. You're getting ready to go for bad behind some. A lot of situations don't work out the way you think they're going to work out. So you have to always be conscious of how to react. Now, is that to say that it's not going to be times where you kind of go over the top, you lose grip? Nah, it's going to happen, but you don't fall all the way off. You have to have the ability and develop the ability to reel yourself in. You ever heard people, you ever seen people do this? And I know y'all have. This is going to, trust me, I know that y'all are going to agree. You ever saw somebody getting mad, getting ready to lose it, and they start in, and boy, and then they go, man, let me chill, man. Let me chill, bro. You know what? You right. I'm done. I'm done with it. They reel themselves back in because two thoughts processes occur in their mind. Number one, they realize it's not worth it. It ain't worth it. They catch themselves. They're in the moment having that heated argument, and they are able to see where it's going. And that's the quality that we got to develop. We have to be able to develop the quality of being able to see where it's going and not let it get there. So these, oh, you know what? You know what, dude? Cool. All right, you got that. I'm gone. That's the first thought process. The second thought is sometimes you are dealing with a person who knows how dangerous they are. Some people know themselves to a degree, like, I'm not one of them people who just be talking, right? So in their mind, they like, this dude don't really know me. This dude don't really know who he playing with right now. But I've developed the ability and the maturity to reel myself in. So for his sake and for my own, I'm going to remove myself from the situation. And somebody that knows the person who just removed themselves from the situation, they'll come and tell others around, or the person who they were getting into it with says, boy, you just don't know how close you was. You don't know how close you was to being on a program next week. See? Because things change people in their life. People have situations. You see some of the most reckless people in the world, and they change because of a certain blessing that might come. They may have children, and that dude just had a baby, or she just had a baby, and now she don't hang out no more. She ain't trying to get to the club no more. She ain't out in these streets buck wilding no more. Oh, buddy ain't out there riding around, stealing and robbing no more. Because sometimes a lot of the things we do and a lot of the reckless behavior that we participate in, a lot of times is rooted in the fact that a lot of us feel like we don't have nothing to live for. Man, I don't have nothing to live. Nobody love me. I don't have nothing to live for. So I'm just going to just rock it out. Reckless. Then something happens. It's like, man, now you're holding this little baby like, wow, this is me. It's mine. And for some people, not everybody, but for some people, a switch flips in their mind, and they're like, no, I can't keep living the way I live, because it's no longer about me. It's no longer just about me. Now I got somebody that's dependent on me, and I got to come through. That's maturity. But you don't want it to have to get to that point. You don't want to have to be a fool for all those years and then have to have something like that happen for maturity to kick in, because that might not happen for you. It got to kick in. You have to put the value on your own life, even when you think it has no value. Because the dangerous mindset is to not have value on yourself. The dangerous side of that for society is that if you don't value yourself, you definitely don't value the person across the street or the person next to you, or you don't care about them because you don't even care about yourself. So nobody's safe. What are you willing to risk it all for? See? Are you willing to risk it all behind trying to prove loyalty to a group of so-called friends? Talking to the young people now. Hey man, you gotta show us you show us you with us, man. Show us you down, show us you. And that ain't really your character. That's not even really who you are. You really don't even want to do it. But you gotta prove and show these dudes, hey man, yeah, I'm with y'all, I'm with y'all, I'm with y'all. How many young people we see every day get caught up behind that? Because that lesson either has not been instilled in them, or the lesson did get instilled in, the lesson did get told to them, but it ain't registered yet. And sometimes it registers later, but sometimes it don't get a chance to register because you already do something crazy. And now this 16-year-old is dead because he riding around buck wild with his supposed to be homeboys. This little girl is dead because she wanted to run around and prove that she down and all this, and you don't get that chance. The biggest blessing is to get that scare. A lot of young people are blessed with a big, serious scare. And sometimes that scare, like they say, scared straight, it straightens them out. Because it's like, ooh, because they realize they ain't built, you ain't built for that. That ain't you. That ain't you. You was raised in a gated community. You live in the suburbs and you trying to act like you hood. You wanna be accepted in the hood. You wanna be hood. That ain't you. Gunshot. That ain't you. Let me see what y'all talking about, man. Boys out here crash dummying. I'm gonna go all the way back. What we're getting ready to do right now is go back in the time. Let me see, man. Atypical says, when someone steals from me. Yeah, when people steal from you, man, a thief is like one of the worst type of people, man. That's just like, oh. A thief make you really want to do something to him. Atypical, but even sometimes with a thief, depending on what it is, you gotta let them have that. Oh man, I had this little candle thing that I keep on my counter, man. He was at my house. Look, man, it's gone. I know he would, nobody here but him. I know he stuck. Let him have that. And use that as a lesson of like, okay, you know what? I got to watch who I bring around. I got to watch who I bring in my house. And I can't be sitting money on the counter when this cat's around. And even at the job, people bring food to the job, put it in the refrigerator for their lunch. They come back, some food that work at the job with them that just volunteered and ate their lunch. You got a different kind of mindset to be just be a thief, just a uncaring thief, and just a trifling thief. Greg Sanford said, just like your Something to Lose song. Absolutely, exactly. Something to lose. You see, when you have that's what makes it really sad when there's somebody who has established something for themselves. They are in that position where they established, they're working, they got a family, house, children, and they let themselves flip out in a moment. They're like, oh man, I blew it. Because they know that in that moment they flipped out. That's not who they are. So they feel the remorse on both sides. But again, thought travels at 24 billion miles per second on average. We got to just think, man. And we'll get to ego in a minute. But I'm going to stick to y'all's comments real quick. Is that Jawahira Abdullah Lowry? Not like that. Not a trigger thing. I flipped out over something so much deeper than that. Well, yeah, I mean, you ain't got to share if you don't want to, but it doesn't have to always be something from the past that triggered you. It could just be something that's spontaneously happened in a moment that just was so terrible in your mind that I couldn't get around it. I couldn't let it go. Robbo said, I think our children and family safety, the only logical thing we should put ourselves on the line for. Yeah. There's a couple other things mixed in there, but yeah, but that's number one. I agree. Lance said, last week a dude got arrested for shooting someone because his homie said his jump shot was weak. See, that's that type of stuff right there. That type of stuff to where that started off probably as just some trash talk and then escalated into that to where the person who ended up doing the shooting, they just couldn't take whatever was being levied at them and they resorted to shooting somebody behind it. And see, even the person who, just say the person that got shot, just hope to God, just in certain situation that they lived, right? Sometimes people have lived through situations where people flipped out, but the person who got victimized, they were actually the instigator, the catalyst. Because you see a lot of situations where you know people that don't know how to stop, don't know how to let it go. See, when you grow up in the hood, you have what's called ranking, roasting. Old school people say playing the dozens, right? And you always got the one or two cats that's just on another level with it. They are incredible. They great at roasting people and having everybody around them laughing. And the laughter is like throwing logs on the fire. The more people laughing and chiming in and laughing, the more that the person keeps on hitting them with more ranking and roasting, right? Meanwhile, the person who's getting roasted, he probably tried to roast back in the beginning, but he was getting overpowered. Everybody's really laughing at him. And now he ain't smiling no more. Now you see him come to the side kind of just like, and the dude's steady going at him. See, I know people like that. They don't know how to read the room. Sometimes you got to know, like, see, I've been in situations where I've been in the crowd where people was getting ranked on, and you laughing, but you kind of look over and you see the guy who's getting the worst of it, and you see him kind of getting fed up. You read the room, you like, okay, you know what? He getting mad. And I never seen it lead to no shooting or nothing, but I seen it lead to fighting. Dude ready to fight now, you know, because the other person, he was more, he became addicted to the laughs. He like, man, I got this crowd going. I ain't stopping. Even when somebody say, hi, you chill out, man. Just you like what they said on when Dave Chappelle was ranking on Eddie Murphy and Nutty Professor. He's like, okay, you got me. You got me. And the dude was like, no, I ain't got you yet. Because he didn't want to stop. You got to know. You got to say, all right, man, I see you. Let me fall back. Some people don't do that. And it can go bad. Let me see. Greg Sanford, think before we react. LW says, I'm curious about that 6-year-old that shot his teacher. How did they get a gun and plan to shoot it? You'll be surprised. You would be surprised. These ages don't necessarily mean nothing no more. 6 years old. So yeah. Okay. How are the kids gonna handle that? Hey man, that's trauma. That's tough. Just going through y'all, combing through y'all comments. What up, Sleep? Combing through y'all's comments, man, trying to see who's gonna drop some jewels. Cherie says, Clark, it's a much scary world now. It's different. That's the truth. The world is different. The world is different. Because a lot of scenarios I'm talking about are things like I say with the roasting and all that. You know, we grew up in that, and the worst you will see is a fight. You gotta be careful with that now, because now people, especially with the online bullying and all that. See, and online bullying manifests itself, the results of online bullying or bullying period, on or online or in person. Those results manifest themselves in different ways. It manifests themselves in the form of the person who's being bullied just withdrawing to themselves and just embarrassed and they can't defend themselves, or it manifests themselves in the form of the person taking their own life because they feel like the bullying is just too extreme, it's just too much on them and it's embarrassing, and they decide I can't take it no more. So they take their own life. Or it manifests itself in the form of them showing up at the school and just shooting up everybody, even people that didn't even bully them. So Cherie is right. It's a different world. We're in a different time to where people react to things in different ways. People don't react to things in the same kind of way. And none of the results are good. So that disconnect that the parents have with the children and all that, that's important because, man, look, a lot of y'all don't even be knowing what y'all children going through. A lot of y'all don't even know what y'all children are going through on a daily basis. Y'all don't know what's happening at school. Y'all don't know what they're dealing with. Y'all don't know if it's some cat bothering them every day. Some of y'all don't know if y'all daughters are being touched by men in the family that y'all trust. Some of y'all don't know if y'all daughters are being touched and molested by men that y'all are in relationships with. Because the daughter either don't tell, or some situations where the daughter does tell, Mama, your boyfriend, he did, and you, I don't want to hear that. He did, you don't want me to be happy. You arguing with your daughter because you mad because your daughter done told that your husband is your boyfriend is a pervert. So you take the side of the pervert over your own child because you are messed up too. You have trauma undealt with, and that's a cycle. So you lay all that heat towards your daughter. I don't want to hear that. And the reality is, part of you know that she's not lying. You just don't want to lose that man when he ain't nothing. That's what you should be willing to go all out. See, because going all out, y'all, understand this. Going all out don't always mean just flipping out and just killing everybody, or just, it don't mean that. Sometimes going all out means removing yourself from what you believe to be a comfort zone and transforming your whole situation when you didn't want to or didn't expect to have to do it. It's like, man, I got to get out of it. I got to reconfigure my whole life. That's what going all out means too. Removing all of the negative people, all of the dead weight. That's what going all out means too. Because you're taking yourself from one extreme to another. And sometimes it's not comfortable to have to just uproot and transform and change everything because you've been locked up in this spot. all this time. Queen Hardy, some people are just too emotional. Work on mastering their thoughts without reacting. It's a hard thing to do, but it's a necessary thing to do because that's the whole key. It's emotion. It's emotion. So the conversation of emotion versus mathematics comes into the equation because, like Mr. Farrakhan says, it's about rising above emotion into the thinking of a God. So a mathematical decision has to be made. What is the best thing to do? What's the most logical, reasonable, smart, best thing to do, as opposed to where my emotion is pushing me or urging me to do? What are you willing to risk it all for, man? Lay it on the line for, man. I'm still reading y'all's comments. Money in the Bank says most people who do wrong are always under the influence of something. I just send positive energy and prayers to them and the victim's family. No. Everybody who do wrong ain't under the influence. It's in terms of a substance. Some people do wrong, they just under the influence of overpowering emotion and anger. They just can't control. Not saying doing wrong, reacting. I'll say reacting. And some people do wrong just because they're like, hey, bro, I got to have it. Or they think they're smarter than everybody else. See? Swift Business, I see you. I'm not allowed to do crime because my dad went to jail when I was a boy. Well, I don't know about the word allowed, but I will say as unfortunate as a situation can be that you see somebody else go through, if that situation can serve as a deterrent for you to not do it, then some good came out of it. Some people's dad go to jail and then the son end up following in the same footsteps, and they like I said in the song, daddy locked up. Yeah, they sent the people to get him. Now it won't be long till the son is in there with him because the environment dictates the actions of the people. The environment influences the actions. Dylan says, I believe there are people that truly can't control their behaviors. They need serious help. Yeah, I mean, you have that aspect too. Some people have serious mental issues, and they literally can't control it. LW say the funniest thing is when they rob a bank and get the die packs. Technology is changing every day, man. Because once you get that die pack and it'll boom, you can't do nothing with that money. I don't care how much it is. I don't care how much it is. It's a wasted trip. Speaking of going all out, Shannon Sharp about to fight the Memphis Grizzlies at the Lakers game right now. Really? I'm looking at that game, but I was looking ahead. What happened? Is that a joke or that's for real? A lot of people take the simple things for granted, says Alona James. The simple things are really, the little things are really the big things. That's what we got to understand. That's the whole point of this topic, to make us understand that. Because we take the so-called little things for granted, just like I was saying earlier, just to be able to just get up and, man, you know what? I think I want to walk through the park today. You view that as a little thing until you're not able to do it no more. You know what? I don't feel like cleaning up this house today. I don't feel like cleaning up. Then you homeless, God forbid. You're like, man, I wish I had a house to clean up. See? I don't feel like spending time. This person, man. Da, 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 da. Then when you can't, you're like, oh, I should have spent more time. I should have called more. See, the removal of the little things reveals how big those things really are. Things that we have total access to at all time. All that has to happen is for them to be removed. And we receive signs of that all the time, just in daily life. Okay, I'll give you an example. You sprain your wrist. No, you don't sprain your wrist. You break your index finger. Something happens and you did something. Oh man, I broke my finger. Right? You broke your finger. Now, all of the regular things that you do on a daily basis with that hand and with that finger, using the use of that finger, now become magnified because every time you try to do something with that finger, you feel it. Like, oh, man, I can't even cut my hair. Oh, I can't even write. I'm trying to write. Everything reminds you of that pain. Everything that happens, a pain reminds you of how important the use is of that one little finger, right? And then you start to realize, if you have some wisdom, you say, man, the little things count. But we don't even view certain things as being important. See? Let me catch up a little bit. I'm a little behind, y'all. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Let's get to 100, y'all. Y'all know how we try to do it. We're a small community, man, but it's love in a small, intimate community. So get your big brother to 100 likes. If you haven't hit the like button, go ahead and do that. Rat, R-A-T now. For those who were not in here when we started off, we do have the books back in stock. We are back like a spinal cord. At the end of this live stream, y'all will be able to go on southparkcoalition.net and purchase both of my books. Be careful, it might, man, a lot of dust. Chop your head off. Because a lot of people didn't know, man, why did I do that? A lot of people didn't know that I had even put out 2 books. So Life Lessons and Lyrics and Behind These Bars. Hurt people, yep. Let me see. Mike Cullen says self-reflection. How many of us really take the time to study ourselves? To just think about, in our alone time, think about some of our own character flaws that we have? Or do we walk around feeling like making a mistake and feeling like it's always somebody else's fault? There's people in the world that just feel like they ain't never wrong. No matter what happened, no matter how many times the same thing have happened with them, they always are 100% certain it was their fault. Wasn't me, couldn't have been me. I'm perfect. Nah, you ain't perfect. You do wrong too. This is this is where y'all can order the books when we get off the live stream. Some people will risk it all just to prove a point that's not even worthy of being proven. Some people will risk it all just because they are stubborn or their ego kicks in where it's like, I got to go all the way through with it now because they can't admit that they was wrong. So they will hold on to the wrong forever and ever. See, because risking it all also comes in the form of losing people out of your life. You risk it all. It's hard to find good people in your life, man. The longer you live, the more you know that. People are gonna come and go. People like ships in the night. They're just passing through your life. Some hang around for a little while, some just keep going. But the good ones, the people that you can really just assess, nobody is perfect. But there are a lot of people that you can just look back and you think about them and say, you know what? That person has been a really good friend, a really good companion, a really good family member. That person has really been down with me and I messed it up. If they can admit that, right? So the ego kicks in. It's like, yeah, I was wrong, but I ain't gonna let her know that. I ain't gonna let him know that. I can't be found to be in the wrong, even if I was wrong. So you risking it all because you lose good people out of your life. And they're not easy to come by. We hear stories about friends and family betraying people every day. It's always the people that are closest to you that mess over you because of the fact that these are the people that you are around the most. So wives and husbands get divorced. Relationships end. Friendships end. Brothers and sisters get into it. Family members get into it because these are the people that you're around. But the same way you cut the dead weight, and that's a good thing to do, we make the mistake of cutting off. You ever heard people, health people, they talk about nutrition and they speak about good bacteria and bad bacteria. And they tell you things, well, what this does when you take this, it flushes out all of the bad bacteria. They have to specify which type of bacteria that's being flushed out. Because something else that doesn't have the properties in it to distinguish, it may flush out it gets rid of bacteria. Yeah, but it got rid of a lot of the good bacteria. See, there is a thing called good bacteria that you need in your body because it serves a purpose. It has a function that is vital to your optimal health, right? It's the same with people. So you flushing out the bad people, okay, that's cool. But you flushing out the good people too. Because of a character flaw that you may have that you either have not addressed, you are not aware of, or you know that's how you are, but you don't care. Oh, well, that's how I am. Okay, well, that's how you are. That's how you'll be. But anytime that I have been in a situation where I know that I was responsible for messing it up, I don't ever forget that. Damone says a lot of us make that mistake. Yeah, we all make that mistake, but a lot of us don't acknowledge it or try to fix it. And time passes, time passes. So is it worth it? See anything that we do, we have to do our best to put it on the scale. We have to put it on the let me see, how what would those initials be? Hold on. The IIWI scale. Anything we do in life, we got to put it on the IIWI scale, the is it worth it scale. You know, I'm getting ready to go with my homeboy and go jacking for some rims. Hold on, wait a minute. You finna go jacking for some rims? Let me see that. Jacking for rims. Let me set this on the IIWI scale. Is it worth it? It's going computerize. Then what is the worth scale? Man, that thing said it goes up to 100%. This thing says 0.02 worth. Nah, I can't do that. Then take that off the scale. Oh man, let me see, man. I got a good wife, man. I got a good wife. We've been together 10 years, man. She takes care of me. She's just the greatest woman in the world. But this lady at the job, whoo, boy, she coming at me pretty hard, man. I'm getting weak. I think I'm gonna do it. Hold on, give me that. Let me set it on the IIWI scale. That's a 0.9 out of 100%. Nah, what else? Oh man, got this $5,000 lick. All I gotta do is drive this car from Houston to Oklahoma and just drop them off and come on back. Give it up. Set it up. It says 9% out of 100. Nah, man, it ain't worth it. That means 91%. It ain't worth it. You gotta start putting stuff on the scale, bro. He talking crazy to me. He disrespecting me. What did he say? Said I'm a simp. Are you a simp? I don't know. Put it on a scale. What you was getting ready to do? I'm gonna shoot him. Come on, man. We gotta start putting stuff on the scale that hitting that 85%, 92% worth. That's how you gotta get down. Survey set. Grizz came with the Family Feud. See, now King Jaffe just put in another twist to it. He says, I'm ready to risk it all to escape the work grind. I can't do this into the later years of life, win and lose. That's a whole nother dimension that we did not mention. That's a great point, man. See, risking it all means a bunch of different things, bro. So he's saying, man, I'm tired of working for people and contributing all of my gifts and talents to a world or to a company or a corporation that I'm not getting anything out of it. So I'm ready to risk it all. I'm ready to give all that up in order to pursue my dreams, my thoughts, my ambitions. And the key word he put it in, he said, win or lose. Come on, man. Those are the things. Okay, give me that. What he just said. Give me what King Jaffe Joe just said. Give it up. Put that on the scale. Woo, boy, that's 100%. 98%. So there's always some risk factor in there. So you may not be 100%, but that's high enough for me to go for it. What if you had a machine like that? Like on Quantum Leap when he had Ziggy, the little computer. What if you had a machine that could foretell you? I think about that all the time. Say, man, you know what? I'm in this restaurant. I never ate here before. Y'all know how you do it, Alexa? You say, Alexa, what is the temperature outside? And Alexa tell you it's 55 degrees. What if you had a machine that you can say, hey, what are the chances that I'm going to really like the food at this restaurant? There's a 96% chance you're going to like this food. Or you say, there's a 98% chance you're going to get food poisoning if you eat here tonight. Ooh. Y'all be using it for the wrong things. Hey, look at that girl over there. What's going to happen if I go holler at her? There's a 50-50 chance she'll say yes or no. Got a 50-50 chance. Should I get this butt implant? There's a 93% chance that you're going to be deformed after you get this butt surgery. Don't do it. Man, they was getting into it for real? Hold on, man, what happened? Shannon Sharp was finna risk it all? You know how Ja Morant daddy is, man. Ja Morant daddy love his son. And Shannon Sharp love LeBron. So if T. Morant love his son and Shannon Sharp love LeBron, we're going to watch TV to see who won. Roster Gideon said pros and cons. We're going to start rhyming tonight, y'all. Yeah. Hey, man, give me 6 more likes. We almost there. Momo, you come flying in talking about what's the topic, man. You got to go back now, Momo. Got to go back. We covered everything, man. Reputation might be the last one. You ever had somebody that just had a reputation and they willing to live and they willing to die on it? So somebody say, well, man, you gonna let them talk to you like that? Man, you gonna let him just do you like that, man? I know that ain't the dude I know. Boy, I know it. I remember a time somebody would have said something like that to you. You would have did this or did that. They putting a key in your back for you to do something that they not gonna have no consequence to deal with. So now you risk it all to try to live up to a reputation. It's not worth it, man. It's not worth it, man. Appreciate y'all getting us to 100 likes. Y'all be stingy. Y'all be holding them likes. Drop your locations, man. Let me shout y'all out. Yeah. Alana James says back in the day it was what would Jesus do? Master. No, it's still that. We still got to think like that. Whatever he would do, that's going to be the right move. It ain't going to be no watered down, weak version of something. Yeah. Drop your locations, man. Let me shout y'all out, man. Yeah, instigators are the worst. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Also, how many of y'all saw the rap draft? How many of y'all do not know what the rap draft is? That's how we're going to ask that question. Tommy Necro out in H-Town. Dollar Bill sent me a monster tonight, boy. Woo. H-Town representing King Jeffrey in H-Town. Adam out there in Northeast Tennessee. Is that Oahu, Hawaii, Rasta? Rasta Gideon out there in Hawaii. Siak in France. Big City South, Brother Zawaji. Phantom Face, continue condolences to you, Phantom Face. Continue condolences, brother. Continue condolences, bro. I hate stuff like that, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I hate it. People are so heartless, man. Raul out there in Bryan, Texas. Anna Monarchy out there in Ontario, Canada. I'm coming your way. Phantom Face out there in Columbus. Is that BC? Is that British Columbia, Canada, Grizz? Georgetown, Texas. Is that Jaquin? Glandor out there in Toledo. Salute to you, Glandor. I appreciate the love earlier too, man. Appreciate that, man. What's up, Sarah? Sarah been laying in the cut tonight. Clayton Johnson in Columbus. Mike Best out there in BX. The Bronx, man. Damone Ross in Amarillo. Hold on. I lost my spot. G. Watts in Cincinnati. Oh, LW. Yeah. Eve was on the list. Let me tell you what happened real quick. Because I don't like to get off subject, but I'm going to tell you what happened real quick. We had a set list. When we got to the building, we added 20 more rappers because of some people that we had forgot. What happened was people started going off the grid and naming people that wasn't on the list. So we had a bunch of female rap. We had Eve, we had the Queen Latifah's, the Lights, and all these different people on the list. But when people started going off the grid and picking people that wasn't on the list, it left a lot of names that were on the list just in freaking limbo. So I have to agree with you, you know. But if you don't know what the rap draft is, go to my podcast, Underground Dialogue Podcast, and go watch the last episode of the rap draft. We got a new episode dropping tomorrow. So be sure y'all check it out. Rasta Gideon, you didn't know about the rap draft? Go to Underground Dialogue Podcast. As soon as you get off and go check it out. Y'all didn't know about the podcast, go subscribe. See, Grizz didn't know. No idea. Where was it? I'm going to type it in one more time. Go subscribe to my podcast channel. That's it. Underground Dialogue Podcast. And y'all see what it is. Shouttown in the building. Alona James. DJ Big Red out there in San Antonio. Queen Hardy in the Southwest. Cream. Holding Holder says, what's up? I'm visiting Houston for the first time. Okay, you're in the H. Trying to think of something that's you came on a bad week. I can't think of nothing personally that I have going on. But it's a lot to do out here. It's a lot to do. Somebody's doing something. The DOC got picked. Glandor. I don't want to give it away, but the DOC got drafted. He got drafted. He got drafted. I specifically remember the DOC getting picked. Okay, let me ask y'all a question real quick. Just thought about something. Still feeling kind of funny about this. How many of y'all in here have watched the rap draft? If you have watched it, just say yes. Just say yes. Sarah out there in North Cali, I'm still shouting out. Jay Singh in Victoria, British Columbia. Victoria, how far are you from Toronto? Jack Singh, I'll be in Toronto next month. If you have seen the draft, just say yes. All right. That's right, Anna Monarchy. Much love, man. Sibo, see, nah, man, you Glendor, you didn't watch the whole thing. No, you didn't. I bet you didn't watch the whole thing because you naming people that got drafted. Holden from NYC. Okay. Let me count these yeses. Let me see. I see a lot of people who said yes. A lot of people who watched it. Okay, let's do a vote. Who do y'all say won? It was me, Dollar Bill, who's in the room right now. Martial Arts Production, that's Dollar Bill. He's in the room right now. It was me, Dollar Bill, Keisto, and Big Todd, the Rap Museum. Who do y'all say won? Be honest. I know Dollar Bill somewhere laughing right now. Okay. SUVSSMG. Yeah, Cream, you need to go watch it. Go watch it. Who won? All the people that says yes, who y'all said won? I need to know because I got my reasons for wanting to know. Who'd y'all pick? Okay, LW said that. See, that's all y'all said. Most people said Dollar Bill won. I can accept that a little bit. I need to get some more votes. Let's see who won. Who y'all say won. And don't just pick me because y'all like me. Tell the truth. Okay, hold on. Let me get some love. Rasta said me. Torrance said me. LW said Keisto. Keisto finally got a vote. See, I knew that Rap Museum, I knew he wasn't going to win. I knew he wasn't going to win because he's too smart. He knows too many rappers that all of us don't even know. We've never heard of. So he's picking guys that we never heard of. He like, man, I got MC Sharpie, man. And we were like, okay. So I knew he wasn't going to win in the popular vote because a lot of people weren't going to know some of the people he was naming. So I was more concerned about Dollar Bill and Keisto. But in my opinion, I knew Keisto was going to, I knew he was going to taper off. But Keisto got a vote. Okay, let me see. It's all love, Anna Monarchy, man. It's much love to you, man. Yeah, tell Daddy to bring you down, man. That's right. Charlena from California. Razzcast was on the list. Money in the Bank, Razzcast was on the list. But like I say, we went off the grid a little bit. Went off the grid. Okay, LW, you got to make up your mind now, because first you said Keystone, now you're saying Dollar Bill won. You got to make up your mind. Yeah. Y'all scared. Y'all scared to pick one. Me and Dollar Bill, we got tough skin, man. We can take it. They already said he won. The majority of the people that I talk to in person and seeing comments and online, forget the online. I got homeboys that I see in person. They say, hey man, your boy Dollar Bill took it. I was like, oh my. But just to let y'all know, man, real quick, the next one we're doing, we're gonna do all Houston. So it's not to alienate anybody who's outside of Houston, but y'all, a lot of y'all may be familiar with a lot of Houston artists. We debating on if we're gonna do all Houston next, or if we're gonna do rap groups next. We may do the groups next. Might do rap groups, then do all H-Town. So that might be how it goes now. That might be how it goes now. Yeah, Guru was great, man. Yeah. Already. Hey man, much love to y'all. Once again, before I go, we restocked on both books, Life Lessons and Lyrics, and Behind These Bars. So go to southparkcoalition.net. All of y'all who asked me these rap questions, these writing related questions, this the book you need right here. If you want to know about your big brother, how I grew up and things I went through and things that I don't always talk about in raps, you get this book right here. And also, y'all know what time it is, man. If you haven't got the comic book or the box or both, go to martialartsproductions.space. Z's all the way around. Z on Arts, Z on Productions, and get this box, the comic book. The box by itself, man, is worth it. The box could be empty, it's worth it. Charge y'all for an empty box. All right, man, I'm out. Catch y'all later on. Peace.